Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. We are, as the title of this video it suggests, we are discussing foreign home ownership in Thailand. That's home ownership, and presumably a house or something like a townhouse akin to that, or what's called a muban in Thailand, which is it's kind of like a development area, what might be called sort of a suburb in the U.S. Sort of a development, a housing development. So it's sort of a house with a lawn. And there's been some talk recently that it may be possible for foreigners to actually gain ownership of such property structures sometime in the near future. In a recent article from the Buriram Times, that's buriramtimes.com, and they seem to be citing, apparently, they are citing Thai, let me double check. Yeah, source Thai Visa News. But the article in Buriram Times, it's buriramtimes.com, that article is titled, Thai Government Considers Allowing Foreigners to More Easily Buy/Own Property. Quoting directly, Thai business media has said that their sources in the Thai government are suggesting that laws relating to the Condo Act of 2008 and rules about owning land and houses are about to change. Quoting further, it would mean foreigners with at least 10 million baht could buy and own a house and even the plot of land it's on. Quoting further, and this is a key point. There's a couple of key points, and I'll expand on it further here momentarily, but this is a key point. However, any changes in the law are likely to be temporary for the next 3 to 5 years as a post-COVID stimulus package. Now, what exactly that means, I don't know, and I'll expand on that in a little bit because that's a little bit worrisome when you read this in sort of a broader sense. Quoting further, house ownership has been a bugbear of foreign investors for years, with only those prepared to invest 40 million baht up able to buy a house on land, and even then it comes with the need to seek ministerial approval. I'm gonna circle back to ministerial approval along with this temporary thing in a minute, as that's a key point as well here. Quoting further, the plan is now to drop that threshold down to properties between 10 million and 15 million baht. This would only apply to property and housing estates, and even then, foreigners could only buy 49% of property in any one estate. And then quoting further, the source indicated that changes to all these regulations would only be temporary for the next 3 to 5 years. So let's circle back to a couple of things. The temporary nature of this. If this does happen and it is temporary, that can have really complex ramifications on someone who actually is able to buy a house. Now, if it's someone that's just going to buy it and live in it and just never leave until the rest of their born days, it may not be a big issue. But if there's only a window of 3 to 5 years in which foreigners can own houses like this, okay, you may be able to lock in your title and lock in your ownership, but what if you want to sell it later, after this temporary window? It's a good question. I don't know what the answer is, but it's something to be really concerned about if this is something that interests you. The other thing is, and this article did not go into this, and I tried to do some research to find if there was anything further on this specific thing, but to circle back, and even then it comes with the need to seek ministerial approval. There's nothing in anything I've read about any possible proposals regarding home ownership that I have seen which says that the ministerial approval rule would be negated, would be nullified under any future legislation. In fact, it's my understanding that's pretty hard and fast law here in Thailand, and therefore ministry approval would, and in this case, Ministry of Interior approval would still be necessary to gain freehold title to a house in Thailand. Now, as a practical matter, that's difficult. That is an amazingly difficult thing to get done, mostly due to the fact that getting a minister's approval of anything requires a great deal of time, and processing a request for such an approval can be a complex endeavor. It's a rather Byzantine process to go ahead and even formally request such an approval. There's nothing in this article nor in anything else we've been trying to find on this topic that would seem to suggest that even though they may be lowering the financial thresholds associated with the possibility of foreign land ownership, there's nothing out there that we can see which would suggest that ministerial approval would not continue to be a requirement. Now, maybe they'll streamline processing, I don't know, but for now that's a major issue, and that's something that definitely keeps the notion of foreign home ownership far from being presumed to be a foregone conclusion when you're dealing with this stuff, because it's a major thing to overcome. So we will certainly keep you updated on this channel as the situation evolves, because I know that this is a topic that it's of interest to a number of expats and foreign nationals also looking to retire in Thailand. And it does appear that the Thai government, the various policymakers associated with the review of this policy, I do think that they are serious and they are keen to stimulate the economy here in Thailand, but it remains to be seen just exactly how these possible changes to the law may actually, as a practical matter, come into being. And for that reason, it may be a good idea to contact a legal professional before proceeding on anything associated with the purchase of a home here in the Kingdom of Thailand.